Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the We Can't Wrestle Podcast, episode 260 of the We Can't Wrestle Podcast. The brothers Max in here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
So, we had to take a week away from the Clash of the Champions last week, but we're back. We're back with our Clash of the Champions series, heading into Clash of the Champions 16, the Fall Brawl, September 5th, 1991.
Yes, and when we were talking before we went on the air, folks, this show is just kind of a show. It's not going to be a lot. At least to me, there wasn't a lot to it, but we'll get into it. Like you said, it was September 5th, 1991, Augusta, Georgia, the Augusta Richmond Civic Center. I tried to look it up. It's still around. The building is still there. It's no longer the Augusta Richmond Civic Center, but it's not even named after a. It didn't become like the Rolled Gold Arena either, which I was happy about.
It's not the Chex Mix Center. Yeah.
Yes, it's the James Brown Civic Center.
Good God.
Yeah. Then like just a couple things that happened there. Like they had one thing, like they had the hockey arena, like it was a hockey arena, and they fucked up and they melted all the ice. It's like, okay, you had one job, actually two jobs, keep the lights on and don't lose the ice. And they lost the ice. And then there was some point where they had a gas leak and they had to like evacuate the building, and some poor HVAC guy inhaled too much gas and died. It's like, what's going on with this place?
And now, every once in a while, when there's an event, the ghost of Gary can be. Yes.
And then another thing happened pertaining to wrestling. This is where December to Dismember happened.
Oh, it really is cursed.
Yes. So that's what happened. There's three big events in that building.
Oh man, that December to Dismember is a bad pay-per-view. Man.
It's a bad pay-per-view if it's ECW. If you just, I think we talked about it before, like if you just watch the show and it's not ECW, it's actually not a bad like one-off pay-per-view or whatever, but if you're trying to make it ECW, it's bad.
Kyle and I did a show just to have a show in last week.
Yeah.
And we actually discussed ECW. We were talking about how, if they just wouldn't have called it ECW,
it would have been perfectly fine.
It was just another WWE brand. That's what I was saying. The only reason I think it has a stank to it is because they called it ECW and it was not EC. And it's like I told him, in a corporate environment, no matter what, no matter how hard they tried, they wouldn't have been able to recreate ECW.
Yeah.
Because ECW was the point that the whole thing that made ECW was the fact that it was, it was poorly run. When it was poorly run, and
yeah,
just I don't know. It wasn't slick, but it was. There's a reason. There's a reason that it was what it was. So,
should have just called it something else. Then, I do have the two songs and the two movies. If you want to hear those. Well, not hear them, but know what they are.
Sure.
In case anybody wants to know what some of these Georgia Brawl Battle Royal guys are going to see. Movie-wise, the number one movie, you want to guess?
Fall of 91. We've already, our last time we did was in June. So... Yeah. City Slickers and Robin Hood have to be gone by now, right?
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're at Blockbuster in Northtown for $1. It is the number one movie is Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Cool movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number two movie is a movie I never even heard of. It's called Dead Again.
I
I
I
have no idea.
yeah, I don't
I
know
have no
either.
idea. But this is a woman who lost her memory is taken in by a Los Angeles orphanage. A private eye is enlisted to track down her identity, but he soon finds out that he might have a past life connection to her that endangers their lives. So
That sounds
neither one
like
of us would have, neither
that's
one of us
a
would have been watching this movie in '91.
I was gonna say that sounds like the afternoon movie on Fox 36 to me
Yeah,
on
some of the people
Saturday.
in the yeah, and I think it's probably a pretty boring movie because it stars some guy named Kenneth Brenhog, who I've never heard of. But the other two main stars in it are Andy Garcia and Emma Thompson.
Yeah, it's
I said,
probably
Tom,
boring.
yeah. I was like, that is boring. And I'm like reading on the other people and some lady named Lois Hall. And there's like a lot of like Lois Hall plays Sister Continence, Constance, or
Oh, oh
and
boy.
Richard Elston is Father Timothy. So it's like a priest movie.
Man, this just keeps getting worse.
And then like as I scrolled down through all these people, I got like to like some of like the last three people. And the guy that played Tuco, he's in it. Raymond Cruz from Breaking Bad. Yeah, Tuco's in it. He plays supermarket clerk. Wayne Knight is in it.
Wayne
You
Knight,
know, yeah, Newman.
Newman.
He plays Piccolo Pete. It's like it went from like Sister Continence to now or Constantine or whatever to Piccolo Pete. And then um ranked even like in the star listing of this movie, even under supermarket clerk, is a guy playing Dr. Cozy Celestial, and guess who played him?
Who?
Guess who's in this movie? And it's got to be the only reason it's the number two movie in America. And when people realized what it was and that he was probably in it for like 5 minutes, is Robin Williams.
Yeah, it's one of the. They probably showed him in the trailer,
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's a Robin Williams movie, and then they go and it's some like art house drama movie. And they're like, fuck this.
which is funny that you mentioned
And
that. It's funny that you
Andy
mentioned.
Garcia.
It's funny that you mentioned Robin Williams because I think Fisher King was out around this time.
Yeah, I don't like that
Might
movie
have been.
either.
Yeah, that's one of my. I think I'm a big Robin Williams fan, but Fisher King's probably my least favorite Robin Williams movie.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one where he's like going to heaven and I don't know. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about,
I do,
but
I do. I can't remember the name of it, but I know which one you're talking about.
yeah, I don't like that one either. But anyway, there's some of those Robin Williams movies where he tried to get, I don't want to say go out of his depth because he was a great actor and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like, I don't see it.
Probably my favorite non-comedy Robin Williams movie is honestly mine's probably 1 Hour Photo. He does a really good job
Oh, yeah.
playing a psycho in that movie. Goodwill
Yeah.
Hunting's fine, but I don't, it's
I don't
but
consider that a Robin Williams movie.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
And plus, that still has comedy in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when 1 Hour Photo has some funny stuff in it, like quirky little things, but yeah. But he's made some movies where I'm just like, I don't like this. Like I didn't like Cadillac Man.
I don't mind Cadillac Man.
And I didn't like there's just certain things that Robin did that I was like, maybe I was too young to get it at the time and now I'm too old to even care. But like I didn't like his like when he do like the Russian guy and stuff. Anyway.
I love Patch Adams though.
Yeah, Patch Adams is good.
Bicentennial
The
Man's
one
great.
where Bicentennial Man, the one where he's like the big kid, that Jack.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good movie.
And of course, Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs.
This
Doubtfire
is
is a.
Doubtfire.
It was a run by fruiting.
Yes, those are all good movies. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, and yeah, but there's just some where I'm just like, I don't like this.
I like the I love it when I love it when he's doing the crank calls to Sally Field to try to get her, disqualify all the other babysitters,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I am job.
I am John.
I am job.
What do? I do impersonations. I'm a hot dog.
I'm a hot dog."
Yeah, it's all good shit. But yeah, it's just yeah. Look at him off on a Robin Williams rant. But anyway. Then we got the songs. Do you want to try to guess the songs? If
I'm
not,
gonna
it's okay.
get.
I'll just let you know.
I want to guess one.
Okay.
I, just because of the time frame, and I think it was out around this time. I'm gonna guess one of them might be Motown Philly by Boys to Men.
Neither one of them.
Shit.
The number one song sucks, and it is Everything I Do for You by Bryan Adams.
It's like I talked about on the last episode we did when we
Fucking
talked
hate
about
Bryan Adams.
Prince of Thieves. That Everything I Do It for You was the song you just couldn't fucking get away from.
And I fucking hate Bryan Adams. Like, he's everything I hate about, like, just that crappy, sappy fucking shit music. It's like, this is no, I shouldn't say no talent because I can't play any instruments or sing, but I'm just like, this is just terrible music. Horrible music. Um, and the number two song is Promise of a New Day by Paula Abdul.
Promise of a new. Yeah. Paula Abdul.
Who honestly, of all those like that type of ladies from like the 80s and early 90s, she was actually my favorite one.
I think
I think Whitney's overrated. Mariah Carey, she's good looking, but her music kind of sucked. But Paula
I
Abdul actually had some pretty good songs.
I like Paula Abdul. I agree with you on Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, I'm back and forth on. I think my favorite late 80s, early 90s female pop star is Janet Jackson, but
Yeah,
I like some Paula Abdul too.
good. So I don't know if El Gigante is pulling up in his rental car singing Promise of a New Day, but I want it to happen.
No, he is singing Motown Philly. God damn it.
Well, who's singing Promise of a New Day? One Man Gang or Steve Austin?
Johnny B. Bad.
So that's what's going on, pulp culture wise.
Well, in the wrestling sphere, in this Clash of the Champions,
Yes.
like Aaron said, Augusta, Georgia, Augusta, Richmond County Civic Center. According to Wikipedia, the attendance is 2,800 for this show, and I can believe it. This is our first Clash post Ric Flair. Ric Flair is now officially in the WWF at this point.
Yes, he is.
He's on the primetime wrestling with the weird set with Vince McMahon in his weird he's in his like gym clothes or his sweatsuits.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's I don't know what that is called. That's like his.
I'm like, I don't know if that's
his,
a gym suit or a sweatsuit or what is
that's
that?
like his adult animals. Like it's not a onesie, but like you had to like make the top look like the bottom so they knew which ones to put together.
That, other than Bobby Heenan when he would be on it, that is the worst era of primetime wrestling.
Yeah.
That setup and that, yeah, I hate that. Like I said, Bobby's on there, but when Bobby's on there, he's funny, of course, interacting with the audience and stuff. But that's definitely the worst iteration of primetime. I'd even go with the round table thing they had, near the end of primetime over.
Yeah, and that was the round table thing was like they were just making each other laugh and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like Vince with that crowd was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb.
But back to WCW, like I said, we're post Ric Flair. Of course, we've had the Great American Bash where Lex Luger turned heel, became the world's champion, defeating Barry Windham, and aligned himself with Harley Race and Mr. Hughes. And again, I wrote down here, we have Ross and Tony Schiavone are the play-by-play men, and the bouffant is blonde. Again,
yes,
more
it's
progress.
blonde. It's blonde and straighter, kind of like straighter up.
I don't know why I think charting Tony's bouffant is funny, but it is.
It's not quite like Zach Braff straight up, like from Scrubs, but it's getting there. It's kind of like when they flash back to college and he's asking Turk, like, what should I do with my hair? And Turk's like, why don't you just, like, I don't know, loose it straight up. Like him and Jim are back there. It's like, I don't know, why don't you just like moose it like straight up?
Straight up. I mean, you dyed it blonde. What are you, Zack Slater?
Yeah, Tony's got his blonde dude going. Jim Ross looks just like Jim Ross.
Jim Ross is extra. Jim Ross is actually kind of extra Pumpkinhead in this event.
Yeah. We are going into October. Excuse me. Getting into the fall season. Give me my pumpkin dew.
What's that pumpkin dew?
Pumpkin dew. Like this is haircut. Like his dew. Like your dew. This is pumpkin dew. Pumpkin dew. And then our supporting staff is Eric Bischoff, Paulie Dangerously, and Missy Hyatt. And Missy is super excited because she's going to get to do a locker room interview. It's finally going to work out this time. And she gets to do it with the hunkiest man in the world. I believe she called him Lex Luger. It's no longer Z-Man, is no longer the sexy wrestler. It's now Lex Luger. He's the sexy wrestler, as Jim Ross would say it.
The sexy wrestler, Lex Luger.
Lex Luger, sexy Lexi.
And of course, we have Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman, and Jim Ross, and Tony Schiavone all in the same company at this point.
Yes.
As the 90s go on, that's gonna turn into some fun stuff. But for now, they're all together, yes. Being the WCW broadcast team. It's funny that the WCW broadcast team from 1991 are going to be the people that shape wrestling in the 90s.
Yes. Yes, they are. The two guys that are get together are going to become the voice of each opposition, and the two guys together are going to become number one and number two, number three, whatever at any point in their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ECW is always number three rating wise, but yeah, a lot of these guys, everything's going to change for them very quickly.
Yes. But we got to we'll get to that because we got to throw Bill Watts in the mix here soon. But
yeah,
right now it's Dusty and his booking committee, I believe, still, and I don't know. I think Jim Herd is still the executive vice president.
Probably not.
Is it that Kip Fry? It's not Kip Fry yet.
I think he was gone pretty quick after the Ric Flair fuffle. I could look it up if you wanted, but I don't think he's.
I think I actually have. To be honest with you, I think I have a page bookmarked here on my computer because we do talk about it a lot. Let me see.
But if he's not gone, it's not very much longer for him.
But while I do look it up, yes, let's see here. Actually, Jim Herd is still the executive VP into early 92, and that's when Kip Island Fry takes over. So Herd's still here, but he's on his last legs.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. So we're going into, like you said, we're going into this page. The show's starting, and we're going to get the Georgia Mountain Brawl Battle Royal, whatever they want to call it. And I don't know if you did, but I did write down the entrance into it in the order they came out and in the order that they were eliminated. You
did better work than I did because I only noted the last four. So you can go ahead and tell us who the participants were and run down the eliminations, and we can Comment
all
if
these
we
men,
have a comment.
get introduced. So I can go down the list, and if you want to stop me and say something about them and discuss it, we can do it. Okay.
So, yep.
All right. So first out, they want to get a pop from the crowd. It's Z-Man. Then we get Thomas Rich from the York Foundation. Then we get Beautiful Bobby. We get Ranger Ross. Then we get young Pistol Tracy. We get the great and powerful Oz. Then we get PN News. We get Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. And we get accompanied by Lady Blossom, Stunning Steve, our television champion. And we get Dustin Rhodes and Terrence Taylor of the York Foundation, Big Josh, Barry Windham, the One Man Gang, and then the ever impressive El Gigante.
My only people I wanted to mention, because everybody else, most of the other people I want to mention are in matches later on, so we can talk about them later.
Yes.
Just recently, PN News, just to his credit, has participated in what Steve Austin says is the worst match of Steve Austin's career.
Oh yes,
that scaffold debacle.
Yeah, that they ended up making it flags because they were like, for one, even if they wanted to, like, he's not going to, but PN News isn't gonna pump off that thing, and
because he's a big ugly bear.
Yeah, bigger than Bale. But yeah, it's so stupid. Like that is like, say what you want to say about a lot of times, but that brief period when they didn't know what to do after Flair left, to me that's the worst of it.
It's awful. Yeah, it's awful for a minute until they get it figured out. You know, they get it figured out. They course correct pretty good in '92, but
yeah.
And then the only other note I had was I couldn't believe Ranger Ross still worked here, but
yeah. And I think this is the first we're seeing of One Man Gang being back, at least on our Clash Chronicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was done as Akeem, so he's back as One Man Gang.
Somebody decided that it would be great to have One Man Gang versus El Gigante.
And that man would be Kevin Sullivan. And I don't think he has already, but One Man Gang is also going to become like kind of glam here later on.
And they have the big hair and the
sparkles. Like what's going on?
One Man Glam.
One Man Glam.
He can come out to that fucking Gary Glitter song.
Yeah. That song.
Yeah.
Didn't that guy wind up being a pervert too?
Yeah, he was a pedo. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody was surprised. Like, really? Surprised that guy's a pervert? But anyway. Order of elimination. You ready for that?
I am ready.
All right, sorry, I just had to itch my ear there. The first man eliminated is Terrence Taylor, then Big Josh. I didn't put who eliminated. I'm sorry, I wasn't getting that too in.
Bad night for Terrence Taylor, though.
Yes. It's Terrence Taylor, Big Josh, then Ranger Ross, he gets eliminated. Then Thomas Rich, he gets eliminated. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker gets eliminated. Then the Z-Man, then Young Pistol Tracy, the Beautiful Bob, and PN News, and Barry Windham, Steve Austin, and it comes down to the Natural Dustin Rhodes, OMG Oz, and El Gigante. So, if you want to use, maybe they're better known gimmicks. I like to think of it as it's come down to Gold Dust, Akeem, Diesel, and Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, and then Dustin gets eliminated by One Man Gang, and Oz together and from behind, so he doesn't have to do too much. El Gigante scoops them up and eliminates them. El Gigante wins the Battle Royal.
And he did say what you want to say about old El Gigante, but he in this match, like in this Battle Royal, I did notice like he did a lot of like he got down and sold and you know what I mean? Like he was trying. I that's what how do I say it? I enjoy El Gigante more than Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, I
Okay.
agree.
Because like I know he's this big guy or whatever, but he doesn't look stupid,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like in his outfit. And they started trying it the right way, you know,
Yeah.
of using him as like an attraction. And like I said, say what you want to say about the guy, and he was a terrible worker and everything like that, but
Well,
the man himself tried.
yes,
You know
and
what
I
I mean?
actually I don't know if I may have said that on one of our shows that we did, but that's how I've always felt about him too. When he was in WCW and even WWF though, Vince just saw a big guy, and you
Yeah,
know but WCW, excuse me, not only did, like you said, he tried. You can't blame him for being 7 foot fucking tall and accepting money
yeah,
to be an attraction. And a guy that is built like him and looks like him is not going to do a fucking somersault, not going to
yeah,
do a fucking moonsault. And like earlier on, they did, like you said, they booked him right. They booked him in tag matches. He was like a backup for Sting and his little group and shit. And then if he did work a singles match, he worked somebody like fucking Flair who could work around him.
yeah.
And I mean, at this point now, you know, again, it's not his fault, but what are you going to get when you throw him in the ring with the one man gang? You know, and again, I'm not shitting on one man gang either. I'm just saying those two guys are not going to have a 5-star classic match no
This is
matter
going to
what.
suck. This match
Yeah.
is going to suck. Like this match should not happen. It's going to
Right.
suck.
Yes, exactly. The bookers shouldn't put them together. Like, what do
You
you want
shouldn't
them
do that.
to? They should look at them and be like, what do you want us to do?
Hey, what do you want us to do? It's like I don't know. It happens sometimes, and it's happened in WWF, but it happened a lot in WCW. Like, what do you think was going to happen doing that?
Right.
Like, oh, I have a good idea. Let's put Big Bubba. Like, let's put like, um, yeah, what was it? Big Bubba and John Tenta
Yeah.
and a silver dollar on a pole match. It's like, which one of them is climbing that pole?
Right. And
And
of
they
course,
made the
Jimmy
pole
Hart
huge.
had to do it.
They made the pole super tall. It's like, what is happening?
Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, this is the way you do it. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna keep that guy around, have one of these traveling battle royals and have him win it. And when you don't have that, have him just be like, you know, come to the Macon Arena, see Sting versus Lex Luger.
And
Harley
it,
Race in Lex Luger's corner and El Gigante in Sting's corner, like that.
yes.
That that's when you try to make him wrestle. You're like, okay, no, that's bad.
Well, that's the Battle Royal. The next match on this show is a second round match or semifinal match in the light heavyweight title tournament that's going on since the last time we checked in with Clash of the Champions. It is Bad Street, of course, Brad Armstrong with the Freebirds. I put the ever evolving Freebirds.
Yes.
Jimmy Garvin now doesn't even give a fuck. He's not even trying. He's trying to look like a pilot, not like a Freebird.
Yeah.
um,
They're over their glam thing. I always
um,
thought it would have been funnier if they would have called him Brad Street.
Brad Street.
Yeah, Brad Street. Like, I don't know. Or even after he lost it, he was Brad Street. But anyway, it's like you said, it's Brian Pillman versus Bad Street. So it's Brian Pillman versus Brad Armstrong. So there's absolutely, positively no way this is gonna be bad.
Nope. And it's actually even better because Randy Anderson kicks the Freebirds out.
Yes.
Tells him to fucking
And
get to stepping.
it's I believe they're hyping it as one of Brian Pillman's first matches back from. Actually, I think they said it was his first match back. Because didn't they say he got like a
Yeah,
buy
it
into
was.
the
Yeah, it
semi?
was.
Like
He did the yellow dog thing. Yeah, I don't
like
remember. I didn't write
yeah.
it down, but they went through some convoluted reason as to why he got to get a
Well,
buy into the.
the fans voted Brian Pillman back, so they moved him into the semifinals of the tournament, and they let him stop being yellow dog, which was stupid.
Yeah.
If you guys don't remember, a while back, Brian Pillman lost. The loser leaves. Whoever gets pinned, they have to leave, and he came back in a yellow outfit, kind of similar to a conquistador, and he had a golden retriever with him, and he was yellow dog.
Hmm.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Not even.
that's what happened.
But yeah, and I didn't write a lot of notes down about this match other than essentially what you said. Like, there's no way this could be bad. It wasn't. It was a good, like, 7-minute match that Pillman wins with a. They're both on the top rope, and Pillman knocks Bad Street down off the top, or they're both on the top turnbuckle. Bad Street gets knocked down off the turnbuckle, and Brian wins with a crossbody off the top rope to excite the crowd.
I didn't have a lot of notes either, just because I was watching the match. The only real note I have other than the finish is that suicide dive that Pillman hit like to the outside was pretty crazy. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, like I said, it was two of my favorites having a match. So
And then we get the WCW Top 10. And I did
which I
write
wrote
that.
that down too.
No, I did too. I did.
I'll
I
let
did.
you
I did.
read this.
WCW Top 10 for this week. Number 10, Beautiful Bobby. Number 9, The Z-Man. Number 8, The Diamond Stud. Number 7, The One Man Gang. Number 6, Dustin Rhodes. Number 5, Stunning Steve. He's the TV champion. Number 4, El Gigante. I don't know why I said it that way. Number 3, Barry Windham. Number 2, Ron Simmons. The number 1 contender, of course, is the U.S. champion Sting, and the WCW World Champion, pictured with his motley crew, is Lex Luger.
Yes. Which, like I
My,
said, would. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just to say, one of my favorite little factions of all time. It doesn't last long. It's not here
Well,
for a long time. They're not here for a long time, but they're here for a good time.
yes. And I've said it on several shows. Sometimes you look at like these top tens or these matches and you're like, they had these guys and had no idea. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like on this list they have Razor Ramon, Goldust, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Farouk. It's like, okay. Dumbasses. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, they're going to forsake all these people for Hogan and his people in a couple of years.
Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck. We don't need this Steve Austin. Let's sign Buff Bagwell to the most lucrative contract we can. We can't afford to lose Marcus Bagwell.
We definitely got to get our hands on, Kamala past his prime and
Yes.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan past his prime. I'm not going to hate on Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but if you sit me
I
down
will.
and say, in 1994, do you want Steve Austin or Jim Duggan? I want Steve Austin. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Send Jim Duggan to Rhode Island. Let him work the fucking armories where he belongs.
The next match on the show, U.S. champion Sting against Johnny B. Bad. And of course, they've started the box gimmick.
Yes.
They show us footage of course, Abdullah the Butcher returning to WCW. Well, he hasn't been around since it was the NWA, but coming back to this promotion for the first time in a long time, attacking Sting. Somebody's out to get Sting with these boxes, with the Butcher in a box.
Butcher in a box. Couple of my notes. One, this is like a little bit before he turns babyface, and this is the only time I enjoyed Johnny B. Bad. Like I liked him with Teddy Long. I'm not gonna like, oh, you big old ugly bear, and all this other stuff. Like I enjoy that guy, but once he turns babyface and gets away from that, I don't like it. And um, on the Sting note, I know some people like have said like, oh well, whatever. Sometimes people think he's like overrated or what, but until he became Crow Sting, that dude was fucking cool, man. I don't care.
He was, and
I'm a
he worked his ass off for this company too.
yes,
Like,
but I just
like
oh,
at
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say of the in the 1990s, take the whole decade of the 90s, this early thing all the way into the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. Are there two more loyal guys than Taker and Sting? You know, they stayed loyal
No,
to their company. Like you can't count Shawn because Shawn was loyal to Vince, but he not loyal to Vince. He would have left. He was just a pain in the ass, and WCW didn't want him
yeah,
at one point. He would have fucking left. He would have went to WCW to be with his buddies. So you can't.
yeah,
He just stayed with WWF just because it worked out that way. You
yeah.
know.
And then, like I said, there's hindsight where like people now will try to be cool and say, "Oh, I didn't like that guy," or they try to misremember it. Like I hate saying like I don't want to talk about your tournament too much, but like I saw in that tournament for like the WWF champion,
Yeah.
that you're doing, and Ric Flair was beating Hulk Hogan. I'm like, really? If you're really gonna break it down of who was the more important WWF champion,
Yeah. Who's
Ric Flair. Ric Flair
to
was there like a
that
year and a
title?
half, two
Yes.
years.
To that title. Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you told me, oh, who's the more important or who's the greatest, just straight up champion, I'm like, probably Flair, because he did more for the business or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, Sting, pretty cool here. He's got the crowd jacked up. I always liked the um any incarnation up to the Crow Sting. That Sting, Crow Sting, once the bell rang, hit, and he
I
just flew the coop for me.
I hate
Um,
I hate not Cactus's part. Afterwards is fine, but I absolutely hated the finish of this.
oh yeah, it was clunky.
Because they bring out the box onto the stage, and then Johnny B. Bad for some reason is mesmerized by the box.
Well, he thinks the box is for him.
Has he been watching TV? Because obviously this
Apparently
big
not.
box is for Sting. It's the kind of what's going on, and
Yes.
then Sting and Johnny Bad are doing like a Keystone Cops kind of thing where they've just stopped wrestling and they're just looking at each other
At the box,
dumbfounded, and it's
looking at the box.
it's very bad. It's very bad. Um,
Yes.
I don't know
And
if there was
then
just like timing was off or what the fuck, but the finish was very clunky, like you said.
yes, and then Sting gets a roll up on Johnny B. Bad and beats him. And then out of the box comes Cactus Jack, Jack in the Box.
It's a Jack in the Box.
And so Cactus Jack is popped out of the box. So we now find out that he's supposed like they don't know for sure yet if he is the guy that brought Abdullah the Butcher. They're assuming that whoever brought Abdullah the Butcher has now brought Cactus Jack. And he attacks Sting, and then he gets run off by Big Josh, Dustin Rhodes, and Beautiful Bobby. So if we want to use some of their old gimmicks or different gimmicks, which I like doing sometimes, uh, Cactus Jack attacks Sting, and then he's run off by Doink the Clown, Gold Dust, and Sir Robert of Eaton. Sir Bobby the Earl of Eaton.
Let me see here. Jim Ross and Tony recap the last segment. And then our next match is the next semifinal match in this light title tournament. It is Ricky Morton or I'm sorry, Richard Morton of the York
Richard Morton,
Foundation. No
and
music,
Mike
no
Graham.
entrance. Against
Yes.
Mike Graham. Um,
It looks like two like factory guys from that era having a match. Sorry, I got distracted. Sorry, give me a
it's
minute.
okay. Oh no, I did too. That's why I was like, Mike Graham, Cracker, Mike Graham Cracker.
It's,
What is your opinion of Mike Graham? We don't talk about Mike Graham because we don't watch a lot of shit Mike Graham's on.
yeah, there's not a lot of it in the area of where we get a lot of our um, stuff that we watch. I mean, some eventually we might have to start reaching. I found some things on YouTube that when we got with this, I thought maybe doing like a couple like it came from YouTube things and maybe get off the network or whatever, you know,
Yeah, well, actually, I wouldn't mind.
or finding some of the. Go
I
ahead.
was
Sorry.
just gonna say I wouldn't mind reviewing. Like there is a couple of things. Like there's a page, a YouTube page that I found that has like 4 years worth of Memphis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind reviewing some of that stuff that's on the WWE Vault, like some of those Omni cards and stuff that I've never actually
Yeah.
seen. But anyway,
Or some any of that shit that I mean, you got all that shit on your computer. But anyway, like you said, we don't talk about Mike Graham very much. I didn't used to really have an opinion on Mike Graham because I hadn't seen a lot of Mike Graham, you know.
yeah,
But going back and watching older stuff like on YouTube and everything, Mike Graham was not terrible. Obviously, I mean he was a very serviceable wrestler. Okay, and in the building in the area that he was in, he was over. So you got to give him that.
mm-hmm.
And if you want to go sometimes based off of what other wrestlers say, and I'll say it because enough wrestlers have said it, he's kind of like a Ray Rougeau, where if you look at the guy, you don't know, you wouldn't think it, but it's like there were points where he was like the baddest dude in the locker room.
Right.
Many people have said, even Flair and a bunch of people, it's like, yeah, you don't want to fuck with that guy. He will fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
he scared Chris Benoit and some of those other guys into the point where they were wanting to quit or sue because he basically.
I Yeah, I was like you at one point. Like I knew of Mike Graham, like as I was a teenager or whatever, and into my 20s. You know, I knew of Mike Graham reading the sheets, knowing that he was a backstage guy in the WWF. Obviously,
Yeah.
I knew he was, or not WWF, WCW. I knew he knew he was Eddie Graham's son. I'd seen, like stuff like this where he's on a one-off on a Clash of Champions or something, but I didn't know a lot about him, and I didn't even really look into him until I had my cup few years ago, till I had my conversation on this show with Barry Rose, who's like Mr. Florida,
Yeah.
and Barry recommended some stuff that was on YouTube from Florida of Mike Graham for me to go watch, and I did, and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty fucking good.
I think
I
what
don't know.
I think what happened with him was by the time it got to where he was there or whatever, how do I say it? He was never gonna go where he was never gonna be a Vince guy because he was
Mm-hmm.
shorter,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And they were he was one of the last guys that like wanted to like try to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, this version of Florida Championship Wrestling folded, so let's try it this way, or let's try it like, they were like one of the last people that wanted to hold out. And by the time he got to WCW, it was like he wasn't going to be wrestling much longer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
this is why, like, when we were, I don't know, how old were you in 1991?
1991. I am 13 years old.
So I'm what, 9?
Yeah.
No,
No,
yeah,
you're 8.
8.
Yeah, pretty much.
So to me and you, this guy shows up, and we're like, oh, Mike Graham, who's that?
Yeah.
Some
Looks
guy, some
looks
little,
like
some
looks like he
little,
works looks like he works with dad.
yeah, some little old guy. I think he was playing. Well, not old, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
and and God bless him because he figured it out. Like, imagine if he wouldn't have, and he would have just kept trying to just work. He would have had that. He lasted in WCW. He was employed by WCW for 10 fucking years.
Right.
He's smart enough to be like, you know what? I'm good. The only thing, like, I'll say, like, and I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but like, I call bullshit on some of the stuff that they had him like say on like those WWE documentaries after Bischoff left or wherever, where he was like, I think you should stop doing it here and take it to Universal Studios and try to get
Right.
on TNT. You know, it might be a good idea to hire Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, really, all of these ideas were your idea? And why weren't you running WCW?
Right. Why was it Eric Bischoff and Kevin Sullivan?
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that Mike Graham wasn't like able to possibly be one of the ends and maybe get Hulk Hogan to talk to him, possibly. You know, yeah, I don't know. I call bullshit on some of that, but as a worker and just obviously not seeing it firsthand, but hearing enough people say like all around tough guy, I actually put it in my notes, and it's like it's funny thinking of like he's like Ray Rougeau, where it's like you look at that entire like if you looked at the roster page of this company, you wouldn't think, oh, that guy's one of like the top four badasses in the building. Like this guy's more of a badass than Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Well, these two, Richard.
And then obviously Richard Morton's Richard Morton. So
Yeah. Richard Morton and Mike Graham have a serviceable match for about 8 minutes, which I didn't write a lot of notes down, but Morton wins off a distraction from Alexander York to set up Richard Morton versus Brian Pillman for the light heavyweight title at Halloween Havoc, Halloween Havoc coming up.
and even though like I'm saying this is how many years ago, and I knew what the outcome was. That was the other thing about this match, and I think the crowd felt it too. That this was a pretty predictable outcome of the match, in my opinion. Like, I don't think anybody thought the finals of the light heavyweight tournament were going to be Flying Brian and Mike Graham.
Yeah, probably not. Nobody's suspecting that one.
Yes.
After this, Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone talk about Bill Kazmaier, world's strongest man, et cetera, because because later on he's going to be teaming with Rick Steiner to face the Enforcers, Anderson and Zbyszko, for the World Tag Team titles because the titles had to be vacated because Scott Steiner got injured.
Yes.
So I said last time we did a Clash of the Champions when they just showed Bill Kazmaier in the audience, I said, oh, there's Bill Kazmaier without his globe. Well, I said, my notes say Eric Bischoff in the ring introduces Bill and his globe.
The thing that's stupid about it is his entrance is stupid because he's supposed to be the world's strongest man. So shouldn't he carry the globe?
Yeah. Instead, he's got a bunch
he's got
of
to have other people do it for him.
He's got a bunch of J-Brones carrying around his big globe.
And the event staff carrying his inflatable globe around.
Well, he's gonna set it. He's gonna set a world record.
Yeah, he's gonna put some reverb on his head. I always thought Bill Kazmaier was the principal from Saved by the Bell, the new class, but that was some football player.
Oh God, what was that guy's name? Alzado?
Lyle Alzado or some shit. No,
is it Lyle? Now I gotta look. Lyle Alzado.
No, but he was the guy. He was in that wrestling TV show with all the like Ric Flair and all them on it.
Anyway,
I don't remember. What was the guy's name?
I'm looking right now.
They don't even look alike, but in my brain, like at first I thought I was like Bill Kazmaier is the principal on Saved by the Bell, the new class, or the college years. That's what it was.
The college years. Because I was looking
Yeah.
at New Class, and New Class still has Mr. Belding.
Yeah. No, this is college years.
Christ.
It's the 90s, everybody.
Only ran for one season. Did the college years?
Yeah, they all dropped out.
Um,
Who was it?
Trying to figure it out. So blah blah blah.
Should just be a cast list.
Cast
It's,
list.
it's anybody that wasn't on Saved by the Bell.
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'll do it.
You do it. I'm looking on Wikipedia, and I don't know the guy's name, but while Aaron's looking that up, essentially, Bill Kazmaier does bend the rod. It's a steel rod over his head and neck, bends it into a U, which I have no doubt. The man legitimately did it. I don't have any doubt that he did. He looked like a strong son of a bitch. But as what I thought
Bob
was
Gulak. Golick. Bob Golick.
Bob Golick. Let me look at him here.
Golic. Golick.
I guess he looks a little bit like Bob.
Yeah, but yeah, I
Kazmaier. I don't know why I
was
thought
Bill
Lyle
Kazmaier.
Alzado.
Because he was in
I don't know.
that.
I don't know football players. I don't watch football.
He was in that other wrestling show.
What
That's
I
the only
thought
one I
was
know too.
this was effective, I guess. But what my thing was, if Bill Kazmaier is coming out here just to set this record with this little rebar, like this steel bar, why are the weights out there anyway?
I don't know.
Because Zbyszko and Anderson come out and attack Kazmaier and hit him with a weight in the ribs.
A barbell plate.
I'm distracted by all this Wikipediaing and these football stars, but Rick Steiner comes out to save Kazmaier, but he's too little, too late. I gotta get back on the back in the fucking groove here.
He was learning the ropes.
I'm umming too much. I'm umming.
I know, but yeah, Lyle did learning the ropes. That's the show he did, where he was a school teacher and vice principal who also moonlights as a professional wrestler. Right, Robert Randall.
Maybe that's why I thought Lyle Alzado, because I guess the wrestling connection.
Yes. So that was his. I forget what his secret identity name was. It doesn't tell me. Oh yeah, and because Lyle was Robert Randall, and then he was the Masked Maniac, and the Masked Maniac, when he was in his mask, that was Dr. Death. It was actually Steve Williams doing the wrestling stuff.
Okay.
It was bad.
My memories were jumbled of 90s sitcoms.
Do what you want with that hot mess that we just did. Anything to distract from this segment. This segment was stupid. Like I said, he should be the one carrying the globe.
You know what's the best? You know what's the best? You know what's the best line ever for fucking Saved by the Bell?
Don't call me a cantaloupe, you watermelon head.
Absolutely, yes. He says, Screech wants to elope with that girl, and Mr. Belding says, Screech, you can't elope. And he said, don't call me a cantaloupe, you watermelon.
You watermelon head.
Anyway, yeah, so after this segment.
Well, I was just going to say, quick, unless there's only two times that like in my opinion, anytime you put world's strongest man on somebody, it's a death nail for me. Mm-hmm. And the only way it works is if you can put it on like an exceptionally talented heel wrestler. Like the babyface world's strongest man doesn't work for me. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because you're supposed to be a babyface and you're boasting this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even when they gave it to Mark, like when they brought him in as a babyface, it was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you let Mark Henry become like sexual chocolate, and like when he got into the nation, I know they still kind of did the strongest man thing, but he was more away from it, and then he became sexual chocolate. And then they let him turn heel, and then he became like the monster world's strongest man. That worked, you know.
Yeah.
And then the only other time it worked was Ken Patera,
I was just about to
because
say Ken
because
Patera.
he was cocky and arrogant, and I'm the world's strongest man, you know,
I'm
and
the
like
world.
it worked for him.
I'm the world's strongest fucking man.
Man, you cocksucking motherfuckers, you know, and it worked for him because he was he was able to pull it off. But
Mm-hmm.
anytime you try to make it like some baby face or whatever, it doesn't work. I think it's just a boring gimmick. But anyway,
The next
this
thing
was
on
all
this,
bad.
the next thing on this show is the
This
Freebirds
next thing is
versus.
bad too.
Yes, the less said about this, the best. The Freebirds versus the WCW Patriots. Of course, Todd Champion and Firebreaker Chip. Firebreaker Chip is the U.S. male from Memphis.
He's also a Hall of Shamer.
Yes, he is. Curtis
He also looks like
Thompson.
a fucking monkey.
These guys weren't good.
Nope.
The Freebird. I don't know. It's a stupid finish. This match was stupid. It served no purpose.
Yeah. The
I think
Patriots
the I
fucking
think the
suck.
I think the worst part is I'm pretty sure at some point here soon the Patriots are going to be the United States Tag Team
Oh,
Champions.
they are. They talked about how the Freebirds signed like a 2-match contract with these guys, and they're going to be wrestling on a worldwide after this, and that's when they win them. Yeah, they beat them. But like I said, my notes are the WCW Patriots are fucking stupid. Firebreaker Chip looks like a monkey, and the camera missed the finish. Like everything on this was bad.
Moving on, Paulie dangerously mid ring interview with Cactus Jack. Cactus does a good promo. Another box comes out to the ring. Cactus thinks it's going to be Abdullah the Butcher in a box. He wants to go get a hug.
A big hug.
He wants a big Abby hug.
Yes.
Turns out it's Sting in the box. It's a Sting in the box. They fight outside the ring. They fight on the ramp. They fight off the ramp. And I wrote down here, and I don't know. People might disagree with me, and you might disagree with me. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, all the people that I, honest to God, think that my favorite Sting opponent is Cactus Jack. I love to watch Sting and Cactus just have a fucking chemistry. I don't even know, you know what I mean? Like it's just they're so good together without even trying, without even fucking trying. I think Cactus is my favorite Sting opponent.
He's up there. I'd say he's A1, A2 for me. And
I like Sting's matches with Meng too. He had a really good matches with
yeah,
Meng as well.
but I'd say it's Sting and Vader, and then
Yeah, Vader, good call.
And I think part of it is because it lets Sting work a different style and be a little more rougher,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And up until this point, this was Cactus's best opponent too. Like
Yeah.
it's not until Mind Games that Cactus had to drop this down to like his feud with Sting and his match with Sting being his second favorite match. Like he said Sting was like legitimately sad when he read the book and was like, "Oh,
Oh.
I thought I was your favorite match." He's like, "I'm sorry, buddy." But the only other note I put in it, I was like, why couldn't this have been his title run? Like why didn't you use him this way?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Let him be this Sting and give him a good fucking opponent. Now he's doing this and it's not even like for a title or anything.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And we're I don't know 7-8 months away from the Bash at the Beach or Beach Blast I guess match that they're gonna have. That is like you said is one of Sting's favorite matches. But yeah, like I said, anytime I see Cactus and Sting, whether they're having an actual match or just like this brawling on the outside and everything, it's just they just have a chemistry that I think is very very cool.
Yeah.
Up next, we get Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone talking about Ron Simmons' football career. We're going to hear from Bobby Bowden, who was his coach. And
yeah, he gets a promo about a bunch of wrestling stuff he doesn't even know about.
I
He
knew
has
it.
no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I knew you'd be wrestling for that world championship. But he tried. God damn it, he tried.
I know he did.
He gave it the old college try. Excuse the pun.
Yeah,
He's a college coach.
I
But
know he did. Saying that guy had no idea what he's talking about.
yeah, they showed up and they were like, Ron Simmons. I like Ron Simmons. God damn it,
He's fighting Lex Luger. I'm not gonna remember any of them names.
I'm just gonna say world championship. That's all right.
World Championship. Nope, let him get you on your back for that one count or whatever. However it works.
But you could tell he was being sincere in his interview.
Oh, I know. Like when he's talking about, I love Ron and all that.
He's the most mature player I've ever had, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but when he was talking about the wrestling stuff, he was
he did fucking fish out of water on that.
Yeah, no idea what he's doing now.
I'm just gonna say world championship.
World championship.
But the next matchup is the Diamond Stud versus Ron Simmons, and I had to write down Scott Hall's already being Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
he comes out of the ring. I think about 7 times. He says, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, that's part of where, like I say, like when like WWE was like, they're stealing our gimmick infringement. It's like, I don't know, man. He was doing all that shit before he even got there.
Yeah, Scott Hall was Razor Ramon before he was. The only thing they added to it was they made him make it a little more Cuban, man.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. I don't know if I've ever asked you about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I want to ask you about both guys. I want to do the WCW or WWF guy game. Ron Simmons, WCW NWA guy or WWF guy?
Well, can I narrow it to just the 90s?
However you want to do it.
Okay. I'm going to narrow it to the 90s and say WCW because I prefer WCW Ron Simmons over WWF Farouk. Even though WWF Farouk was still entertaining, I prefer Ron Simmons and think more of him WCW because you get into the 2000s and then it's APA and it's kind of a totally different thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like when you think of like Ron Simmons,
WCW.
Okay.
I know it is a very, very, very brief period of his career when you think of his career in its entirety. Because it's only 92 to 96-ish and late or mid 96. So it's like 4-ish years of a 20-year career. But when I think of Scott Hall, honestly, because of when I was prime fan of wrestling, I think of Razor Ramon. To me, he's Razor Ramon in the WWF.
Like, to me, Scott Hall's a WWF guy, and so is Kevin Nash. You know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then like the reason I thought about it was because when I was watching it, I'm like, you know, to me, he's a WWF guy. And I was like, he spent less time there. They both spent less time there than they did in WCW.
Oh yeah. And it is. It's the time thing. It's because that was our prime fandom. You know, that's what you're going to remember as the prime because that's when you were the biggest fan of wrestling that you could possibly be.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I do. I just, when I think of Scott Hall, I think of Razor Ramon. I just do, you know, and that's not to diminish anything he did anywhere else or any other time.
And it's even crazier with him. Well, but it's even crazier with Kevin Nash because Kevin Nash was there consistently. Part of the part with Scott with me is like up until like from like 96 to like 98, it was what it was, you know, like he was there. But like after he went off the wagon again, like his WCW career was really inconsistent too. Like he'd just be gone for like a very long time and then he'd show up again and then he'd be gone for a long time. But yeah, like I said, I think of both of them. I think I don't know. When I think of Ron Simmons, I think of Farouk more than anything. But it's just me.
So I thought
But
this
Ron
was.
Simmons. Oh, go ahead.
I just thought that because Ron Simmons defeats the Diamond Stud here, obviously he's on the trajectory to get the world title match at Halloween Havoc. What I thought this was actually really funny because Paul Heyman introduces Ron Simmons after the match, and Ron Simmons calls out Lex Luger like, "We're gonna have this contract signing. Let's do it now." Blah 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 blah. Stop posturing. And then
Yeah.
it's funny because Harley Race and Mr. Hughes come out. And I thought it was hilarious because Ron Simmons was like, every time I call out Lex Luger, here come you two fucking clowns. And then
Yeah.
he just leaves them standing in the ring with
I know.
their dicks in their hands. It was so funny.
Yeah. He says like every time I call out the horse, I get the horse's ass, and they look at him, and he basically like, I'm not talking to you anymore, and he just leaves.
I thought it was so funny. I laughed my
I did
ass
too. I
off.
was like, he just fucking told them guys, get the fuck away from me. And like Harley was standing in the ring, like, what the?
Yeah, Harley starts yelling at Heyman, like, what's going on?
Yeah, like he didn't even try to hit me or anything.
I'm glad we both caught that was funny as
Yeah.
fuck.
He was just over it, man.
I'm tired of you motherfuckers.
Yeah. He says, I keep calling out the horse when I get the horse's ass.
Good shit. Good shit. And it also puts Luger over too because he's the pompous champ. Like even later on,
Yeah.
they're like, we're supposed to be having this contract signing, but Luger's not ready yet. So let's go to more footage of Ron Simmons doing good things. But yeah, it's a very good build to this title match at Halloween Havoc.
It's like you're like, let's go to Ron Simmons doing good things.
Well, I mean, they do, don't they? I mean, it's like
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
this champion's a pompous fucking asshole.
I know, but like,
Ron Simmons
doing
is
good things.
Ron Simmons is renting fucking buses to take kids to wrestling shows and shit.
I know, but I was just trying to think of like random shit that wasn't even like super big. Like, here's Ron putting groceries in
here's Ron helping an elderly gentleman across the street.
Yeah. Here's Ron mowing his neighbor's yard.
Here's Ron taking 3 bags to the food bank.
Yes.
Well, the next match is short. And like
Ron
I said,
didn't have to pick those cigarette butts up, but he took the time to do it.
Lex Luger, what's he doing? He's being an asshole.
He's making people peel his shrimp. Wish he did that. Tony Schiavone talked about it. He said like Lex Luger would go to bars and he liked like the peeled shrimp, like the shrimp you'd have to peel, but he didn't like the way it made his hand smell. So he'd tip a bartender like $60 to peel his shrimp for him.
Yeah, at least the bartender made some money.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next matchup
sucks, too.
The next matchup is very short. I said earlier during the Battle Royal when he was eliminated first, bad night for Terry Taylor.
Yeah.
As Terrence Taylor from the York Foundation is facing in this match the debuting Van Hammer.
Van Hammer wasn't debut. He didn't debut. He was released. He was terrible. It's one of those gimmicks where it's like with like the dynamic dudes. Like they picked this guy that couldn't even play a guitar, and they made him act like he could, and he fucking sucks. He's one of the worst wrestlers of all time. He's a bad person. Even when he tried to do like the "We Will Rock You" like stomp chant thing, he can't even do that properly with any kind of rhythm. It's fucking trash. He's one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I will. You'll get no disagreement out of me. You and I agree on Van Hammer.
He stole money from the wrestling business for like 15 years.
Well, fortunately, this is quick. Van Hammer wins in like 1:07. Then we go to Missy Hyatt. She's in the locker room with Lex Luger and Harley Race. and Mr. Hughes. And Ron Simmons is at the door, knocking on the door.
And this is funny because Luger kind of does the same, like a little bit of the same. I like how like these guys are just nonchalantly blowing each other off because Ron Simmons knocks on the door and he wants to talk, and Lex Luger's like, "I don't have time to talk to you right now. I'm done with you." And then he just shuts the door casually in his face. You know what I mean? Like they're not attacking each other right away, or like he doesn't slam the door in his face. He's
Yeah.
just like, "I'm in here. I don't have time for you. I'm talking to these guys," and then he just shuts the door. Like I said, he doesn't slam it or anything. Just goodbye, and just shuts the door.
We'll see you later on.
Yeah, goodbye.
Go do some good things.
Go pay somebody's fucking parking meter.
But Ron Simmons had it. He's fucking had it at this point.
Yeah.
He breaks down Luger's door. We get a
He does a
big
bad
dramatic
thing.
debacle. Yes, he does a bad thing. Breaks some property. And then they kind of just pan away from all of that, just some chaos to get you ready for the contract signing later on. And then up next, we get a really good back and forth match.
I guess I never noticed it till like this show that these guys passive aggressively, nonchalantly blow each other off. But anyway, yeah, the next match is probably, I want to say, probably the best match on the show.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely the best match on this show, no doubt. For a myriad of reasons, like some of the matches are kept short, some of them had silly finishes. One of them was a battle royal. I don't know. It's probably either this one, or Pillman and Bad Street.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next match is Steve Austin defending the TV title against Z-Man. Of course, Steve Austin is scored to the ring by Lady Blossom. Man, WCW, until fucking, I don't know. Until the politics really got heavy, they did a really good job with Austin.
Yeah. It stems to everything was fine until Hulk Hogan showed up. Like Hulk Hogan, and I don't want to say it because he was what it was, but Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage going into that company changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked it all up.
The thing that I wrote down about like I said, this is a good
Part of
back
me
and
thinks
forth.
if Randy Savage would have just went, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway.
Like I said, the meat of the match I wrote down, just a good back and forth match. And this is one of those things where I don't know if it was a mess up or not, but it was one of those things that if it is a mess up, it actually made it more effective. Because Lady Blossom gives Steve Austin brass knucks, and he tries to use them, and he kind of misses. And Z-Man gets kind of a little like reprieve where he didn't get hit by the knucks. And then Austin cracks him with them off another move and gets the pin. So I don't know if that was intended or not intended. But either way, I think it made it better because it was actually like, I like it once in a while when the heel shit doesn't work out at first. Like, shit, you know.
Yeah. And like you said, it was a really good match, or I mean, we both said, and Steve Austin retained the television title, and I enjoyed this one.
And this
I think something's happening watching these clashes with you, by the way, and hopefully, I don't think he's around much longer, but I think something happened. You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it made you a bigger Tom Zank fan than you were. I think
you might be right. I've been giving him a little more praise than I have in the past.
Yeah, he ain't shitting on Tom Zank no more. Like, he's starting to appreciate him. Ronnie Garvin's like, "Welcome to the club, brother."
So this is when I was joking about earlier, where we're supposed to have the contract signing, and Jim Ross. And again, I think this is really fun. I think it's fun that Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone are like, "All right, the champ's supposed to be out here, but he wants us to wait a little longer." So that's why I said they show Ron
Yeah, but
Simmons.
did you notice what Jim Ross said though?
I I don't think so. I didn't write it down.
He said the champ wants us to wait a little bit longer. He's not ready. The uh, the production crew thought this was going to happen, so we have some more footage for you.
Our champion's an asshole.
Yeah, we figured this was going to happen, so we got some more good time Ron Simmons for you.
And yeah, this is when they show all the, like I said, the Ron Simmons doing good things for the community.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's the best guy, man, for that.
oh no, no
Right now
shit.
in this
Yeah, no
company.
doubt.
And I know they did it because it was Atlanta, and they're wanting to promote him as like the first African American world champion. But you could put that speech that he gave in front of any group of kids. You know what I mean? And it would have been
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. But yeah, he's the best guy for it.
Yep.
And
In this company,
it doesn't feel fake when Ron
yeah,
Simmons did it.
yeah.
You know?
In this company at this time, no doubt. Like he is the best. Like whoever decided after Flair was gone and they had to, move things around. And I know Sting's there and Sting's like technically your top face, but whoever decided to make Ron Simmons the other top face, probably Dusty, very smart move. Because he's like you said,
Yeah.
Aaron, he's a fucking genuine guy. He doesn't come off as fake. He
Yeah,
doesn't
and I'm
come
not
off
saying Sting. I'm not going to say Sting's an asshole because he isn't. You know,
right.
but I don't think Sting going to like a boys and girls club would be giving this type of speech, and it
Mm-hmm.
would seem as genuine as Ron Simmons giving it.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Ron Simmons is one of the most genuine guys in wrestling history.
Yeah.
But yeah, the contract signing finally happens. Eric Bischoff presides over it. Of course, Ron Simmons is out with his wife, and I've got to be on the show at some point, baby. Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Me and Ron Simmons are both black. What are we supposed to do, baby? What are we supposed to do? But they have Dusty there with Ron and his wife to give encouragement to Ron Simmons, and of course, Lex Luger comes out with his entourage, and more good shit with Lex Luger and Ron Simmons. Because
but the thing that triggered him wasn't even like the worst thing that ever got said. Like all these other things that they're just like blowing off and like see you later, like shutting the door, whatever. Like all he did was say you can be my driver, and that made him snap. It's like,
yeah,
oh, he
well,
said
and
worse stuff.
it's fun. It's the thing that's good about it, and this is why this is, like I always say, this era Lex Luger is the best Lex Luger, because for this time he's kind of sort of being himself. And he's like, hey, I love all this. It's great, all this stuff you've done for the community, Ron. You're such a great like he's putting him over, kind of backhanded, putting him over, like what a great guy he is, and blah blah blah. And I've assembled a great team here with a bodyguard and a mentor, and we have a great team here. Again, backhanded. You'd be a great part of our team after I beat you at Halloween Havoc. I got a spot open for a driver that I think you'd just be like. He doesn't. It doesn't even. It sounds like he's so delusional. He believes it's a compliment.
He doesn't even. And you know what he actually said? You know what I think the best thing that he said was?
What's that?
And I think this should have been the thing that made Ron snap. And I don't know if Luger just said it off the cuff, or if it was something that was predetermined for it. But you know, like how Ron's like going on to trying to become the first African American world heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
They say black world heavyweight champion, so it is a different era.
Right.
But Lex Luger actually says that I think it's very exciting that I'm giving you the opportunity to try to become the first black world heavyweight champion.
Yeah. It's like low key.
Like it's very he's like, it's very humbling for me to say that I'm giving you the opportunity to try to become the first black world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's not even acknowledging his accomplishment of becoming the #1 contender. So he's taking it and saying, I am the reason that you're even able to try to become the first black world heavyweight champion. Like he does such a good fucking job in this thing.
it's like Trump saying I'm the best president for black people since Lincoln. Fuck
Yeah,
you. You just fuck you, you fucking douchebag. But yeah, it is. It's like you said. I didn't even write that down. I just wrote down how he was. It's like his character's oblivious to the fact that he's even being a bigot.
yeah. But then he says the driver thing, and Ron um, attacks very quickly.
Yeah.
Like it just shows how much of an athlete he actually is because he does this like in a suit. And I love the fact that he attacks very quickly, and Luger gets out of there very quickly, and that's how that ends.
Yep, I put Simmons. Luger and his entourage head into the limo, which Simmons could be driving after Halloween Havoc. Simmons chases the limo up the ramp, and then we get a recap of the tag team tournament that's been going on. And it is the finals. It is the Enforcers, Larry Zbyszko and Arn Anderson, against Rick Steiner and the aforementioned Bill Kazmaier. And of course, the story of the match is Kazmaier's ribs are all fucked up. So Rick's going to have to wrestle this match alone. Like he pretty much tells Kaz from the beginning, stay on the apron, stay on the apron. In any other time frame, in any other situation, because this was just because Scotty got hurt. So they had to do something. To be honest with you, in any other situation, this would have been a perfect situation for Rick to turn heel.
Yeah, just Kazmaier fucked it all up.
Yes, because Ricky essentially tells Kazmaier, I got this. I can wrestle these two guys on my own. It's very short. Rick tries to wrestle Zbyszko and Anderson on his own. Kazmaier tags himself in and winds up getting very quickly pinned by Larry Zbyszko because his ribs are all messed up. So Larry Zbyszko and Arn Anderson are the new WCW World Tag Team Champions.
Or even the possibility of making Kazmaier turn and make him like a muscle for these guys or something. Like he tags in and nails Rick Steiner. But it is what it is. This is the era of Larry Zbyszko in the locker room being called the cigar store Indian. So Arn Anderson called him. So you're just a cigar store Indian, man. You just stand there in the corner and do nothing, and I'm doing all the work.
Man, I'm telling you. I'll tell you. I don't want to get in the weeds because we got to wrap this up we got to wrap this up. But
yeah,
as far as Zbyszko goes, because I'm actually watching it right now because I'm watching a lot of like TNA. I'm watching TNA like chronologically.
yeah.
And I've said it before on the show, but I'll say it again for those of you that don't know. As much as I liked him as a as a collar guy on WCW Nitro, and I think he was a decent heel wrestler. My favorite Larry Zbyszko is the TNA mid 2000s authority figure.
Yeah, because you got to use his humor even more.
Yeah, his shit with Raven and just that's where he's the best. He's a really good personality. I think he's a mediocre wrestler. I'm not
mediocre.
I don't know mediocre, but I don't seek out Larry Zbyszko matches.
I know to me, and it's funny because you said like his thing with Raven or whatever. That's who he is to me. Of his era is Scott Levy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just let all this shit happen around. Like it's kind of like Arn said, you're the cigar store Indian. It's like I'll just let all this shit happen around me.
I'll cut a hell of a promo.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean he used his words and less is more with Larry Zbyszko.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, and that was the wrong word. That was the wrong word to use to call him a mediocre worker. I didn't mean it that way. That's not what I meant. What I meant was
I know what you mean, but I'm just saying like, and I like this team. I like Arn and Larry together, and we're about to get into some good shit here soon. So, but anyway, this show is kind of in my opinion, this show was how you described Larry Zbyszko's work. Show is pretty mediocre, in my opinion.
Yep, I'd say from the last Clash to this one, and again, I'm grading on a curve. I'm grading on a curve because I'm giving the people that write and book the show a little leeway based on all the recovery they've had to do since the whole Flair. It's not Dusty's fault that Flair and Hurd fell out. Maybe it is a little bit. I don't know. Dusty was a politician, but regardless, the build with Luger and Simmons is good. The action wasn't fantastic. So I'd say this show, actually, I did grade it on a curve, and I didn't say it went down from last time. I said it stayed status quo.
It's 9 matches. 2 of them were good, and then there were 2 seconds that were good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main angles, which are Luger and Ron, that stuff was good, and then Sting and Cactus, and then that Brad Street, Brian Pillman, and then Z-Man and Steve Austin. But other than that, everything else either just felt like filler or it was just dumb. I don't like this show very much.
and that's that is what it is. It's fine. The next show is going to be in November 19th, 1991. Clash of the Champions 17. They have a better attendance.
Do I have a subtitle?
No, it doesn't look like it has a subtitle. Not at least not on Wikipedia. It doesn't.
Okay.
But let me see here. Definitely a better attendance than this last show. But
that's what we're going to cover next. And I mean, I might be up for a while, so I might start watching it now. But like I said, I don't give this show much of a rating. It's just kind of, like I said, it fell flat for me. So I'd give it like a C-. It's just kind of there.
Well, that being said, we are going to wrap this up, this latest edition of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Thank you all for your support. Again, as I always say, as we end the show, check out the WNR Podcast Facebook group on Facebook. If you ask to join, we will accept. And check out if you like to listen to your podcast on YouTube, WNR Podcast Network page on YouTube. We are there every single week at the same time that these audio podcasts go up. They also go up on YouTube. So, Aaron, unless you have anything else, I've got a piece, so we're going to sign off.
All right. Just thanks for listening, guys.
All right. We'll see you next week for Clash of the Champions 17. Again in Georgia. So there you go. We'll see you next week.